Welcome back into the nest for more intimate chats with the Lovebirds. Now, with more discussion about love, sex, and relationships, here are Doctors Chuck and Joanne Bird.
They can handle to me wrong.
Oh, she did it. Oh, she did it, guys.
Come on, that wasn't bad.
Come on. Everybody out there, let's go. Everybody knows this song. All right, that's good.
If I had my headphones, I'd do it.
Welcome back to Intimate Chats with the Lovebirds. That's just a perfect song for what we're talking about.
Getting ready to go. Yeah, the subject getting ready to talk about.
We are talking about surviving infidelity, and we have a great guest on, a colleague of ours who actually went to one of our school, American Academy of Clinical Sexology. So I can't wait to have her on.
Yes. And we're going to be talking with Dr. Tammy Nelson. She is a sex and relationship expert. She's a board-certified sexologist, an ASEX certified sex therapist, a certified Imago relationship therapist, and the author of several books, including What's Eating You, Getting the Sex You Want, Shed Your Inhibitions, and Reach New Heights of Passion Together.
Love that.
And the upcoming The New Monogamy, Redefining Your Relationship After Infidelity.
Which we'd love to have her on the show for that later,
Definitely.
Yeah.
She's been featured in Cosmo, Men's Health, Time Magazine, MSNBC, Glamour, and blogs regularly on many popular websites.
And now on
Chat Show with the Lovebirds.
That's right, on the radio.
And for more on her international trainings for therapists and her counseling for couples, go to www.drtammynelson.com.
Dr. Tammy, are you there?
I am. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing great here. Thank you so much for coming on our show and talking about this subject. It's a very important subject.
Yeah,
so we appreciate it.
I appreciate you asking me.
And this actually sounds great because of your new book that's going to be coming out, New Monogamy.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to talk about it. It seems like a hot topic in the news, although it's sort of always been, right? This issue about cheating and affairs and infidelity.
Right, exactly. And how many people, what are you aware of anyway, statistically, how many people are actually cheating out there?
Well, it's really interesting because we don't really have like an exact number of people that cheat, because part of cheating is not being honest.
Right, exactly.
People aren't really honest with even the researchers. Right. So we can't get an exact idea, but the numbers vary anywhere from 25% of everyone cheats at some point to as many as 40 to 50% or higher of women, and up to 60 or 65% of men will cheat at some time during their marriage. That's for married couples.
There you go.
Wow.
That's pretty high.
It is very high.
That's like an average of pretty much half of everybody will cheat on their partner.
Right.
Man.
And so it does make you kind of question the topic of your book, the New Monogamy, and what's happening with this.
Right.
Absolutely. Why do you think people are having affairs out there? I'm sure it was always happening, but why do you think?
Yeah, it's an interesting idea because it makes you wonder a couple things. One, are we meant to be monogamous? Maybe the whole idea of being monogamous doesn't work, and we can talk about that. And two, is it something that's changing in our culture that's making infidelity easier? Being on the Internet, everything has changed now with the access to the Internet and to the computer. So the whole landscape of cheating has changed.
Yes, it has. And I remember the rates actually going up for women not too long ago because women were going back into the workforce. So opportunity was there.
That's true.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
true.
Exactly.
Right.
So you were saying that the Internet definitely has affected the rate of infidelity.
This is the first time in history ever that you can cheat on your partner lying in bed next to them.
Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
think about
that's
that.
powerful.
Yeah, it
Just
really
to
is,
think
because
about
everyone
that.
has handheld devices and laptops, and so you could be cheating sitting on the bus or riding on the train or sitting next to your partner in the car.
Playing a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's really a powerful thing. So, because, like you said, because of opportunity, it's so accessible, it's so affordable, and it's so ostensibly anonymous. People think that they won't get caught or that there's no trail. And so because it feels like they won't get caught, it feels like it's easier. But you and I and all the listeners know that there's always a trail.
Always a trail.
Sure there is.
Absolutely. Right. And a lot of times, especially with some of the couples that have come in, they'll say, well, I thought it was more fantasy. In other words, I was doing it for an escape or fantasy. It wasn't really cheating. It wasn't real because we were just talking or texting or playing a game.
Right. So screen to screen doesn't feel real because we're used to looking at TV, we're used to playing video games, we're used to looking at a computer, and that's never been really real. So cheating, even on a webcam, with a real person, doesn't feel like it's real cheating. But Peggy Vaughn, who's done a lot of research with cyber sex and infidelity, says that 50% of the time, cheating online leads to real-time infidelity, and it happens pretty quickly. So you might go from chatting with someone online to having cyber sex, like through your webcam, to exchanging phone numbers and texting, to actually, meeting someone in real time. So it really does. There really is a connection.
Exactly, and you can see how easily it progresses into that point where the line into the fantasy goes into reality.
They're getting crossed, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And it feels so exciting because it feels so forbidden.
Right.
And so the forbiddenness and the naughtiness, eroticism by its nature is naughty and forbidden and illicit. So it makes it feel hot just because you feel guilty about it. So especially for women, they feel like, well, if I have this intense feeling about it, it must mean that I have an intense feeling for this person. Right. And so they confuse the excitement perhaps with, a real intense emotional attachment to the person.
Right.
And so it starts sometimes with that intensity online, and it leads to, a relationship. And once you're having an actual relationship, sometimes it's too late. Then if your partner finds out, then you have to deal with the consequences.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Now, Tammy, do men cheat for different reasons than women?
You sometimes hear that the woman, I'm looking for more of an emotional affair. That's what you hear from some of the women. And men are saying things like, well, it's just the sex.
Well, it's interesting because, it seems sort of sexist to divide the reasons.
Right.
But, on websites where you can meet another person just for sex, even if you're married, so there's a bunch of websites, and I won't give them free advertising, but
yes,
exactly.
You can meet someone who's married, if you're married, just to have sex. Those websites increase their sign-ups by over 80% the day after Mother's Day and the day after Valentine's Day in female sign-ups.
Oh my gosh.
So in other words, women sign up the day after Mother's Day and the day after Valentine's Day, incrementally in huge amounts because they feel emotionally disappointed.
Wow.
Gotcha.
And so they sign up to have sex with other people. So I think that in and of itself is an example of, yes, women do cheat for emotional reasons, but they cheat sexually to get that emotional need filled.
Well, Tammy, we've got to go to break. Can you stay on for the next segment so we can continue this?
Sure, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Great. All right, we'll be back with Intimate Chats with Lovebirds right after these commercials.
La, la, la.